There's something fun to all that. And we're off.
And already starting in different spots. Just what you were talking about.
Yep.
I will give the NMG plug that the great thing about it is like you really start paying attention to where you're losing all the time in this game. There's so many little tiny things that you can not even realize you're getting wrong until you do the same room over and over again. But once you kind of get a feel for that, like once you know how to do movement, general movement, and everything, it starts to matter a lot less for Randomizer.
Yeah, I mean, you get familiar. We saw Doom doing some early Landmo NMG strats, which is always important, but a lot of times you come across Landmo and you have Butter Sword and Silvers or something, and you just gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, we got two runners going towards Kakariko. Doom gave us. Did he go all the way up to Uncle? I missed that.
No, I don't think he did.
But he was able to grab those 3 bombs from the house, so he already has bombs for Kakariko.
Yeah, personally, I like skipping the lumberjack check before you have boots. You can't get the item without boots, and it combos in nicely with the bonk rocks in general.
Yeah, so, I agree with that as well. I usually start Sank and then just go right to the Lost Woods.
Yeah.
Ralen not going to miss out on bombs, though. It's just 3 bombs just hanging out in the Lost Woods and the mushroom spawn. All right, in our map check, I missed early, but shout out to our tracker. We got 3 crystals right in the light world. Our tracker today is Slowpoke. Shout outs to them.
Our tracker has provided us with a lot of information that we already missed. So
yeah, I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss a lot.
Slowpoke's gonna be the true MVP of this stream.
Yeah. All right, so we got an early lamp. Do you like getting an early lamp?
It's nice. It puts a couple of annoying locations in logic, especially Eastern without the bow.
Yeah.
I'd rather see early fire rod. Although I guess with the logic, the new logic now in V31, it kind of does the same thing.
What about a cape with a lamp?
No, cape. That that I hate.
But the hook shot to go with it, you gotta like that.
Yeah.
Early hook shot is always really nice.
I mean, Aga really doesn't start entering your mind until you find that Moon Pearl, because it's only one check, and you're never going to do Aga just for that one check early. That will be your last spot.
Sure, but I hate seeing camp, lamp, and cape early. It's never fun.
Yeah.
It just puts it right square in your mind, right? Like you're thinking,
even Master Sword, it's like you like having swords, but like you want the one sword early, and the second sword early is like, oh, kind of wish I didn't have that quite yet.
All right, so we got powder in the well.
Yeah, we're getting all our fetch quest items right away. So a lot of times an early fetch quest item, since there's so little open already, it makes it more likely it's going to be there.
Yeah, sure, definitely incentivizes.
So many now. It's like, well, which one do I go to? Although I get powders, doesn't really matter at the moment because you don't have hammer or Dark World.
Did Ralen forget something?
Oh,
he's farming up. He's farming up rupees.
Yeah, they're both looking for rupees for the.
There's only a single rupee though, and you usually just drop down in the well and grab.
Yeah, the well will get you the 10. And he was close though, so he was only I think too short.
And you get 50% back from the bottle vendor. Thanks, guy.
Yeah, you actually don't hate seeing money. I mean, it's technically a ripoff, but all that really matters is you get a total of 600 right for the two money checks early. So getting money there is actually better than like a piece of heart, honestly. Even like $20.
Sure.
Like, well,
yeah. Especially when you get flippers, right?
Yeah. Flippers there, actually, getting the flippers now is a bit of an issue because neither have done Houlihan yet, and the one state you really can't Houlihan in is when you have no glove but flippers.
Yep.
So if it is Zora, they're going to be in a little tight spot unless they get like a 300 somewhere.
You look at the seed, you've got lamp, cape, hookshot, flippers. If that doesn't scream Aga to me, I don't know what does. Especially with that moon
And
pearl on
yeah,
the
with that
ledge.
moon pearl, this is. They do need a sword still. You have to cut the curtains to get to Aga. Something I always forget.
Yeah. That will
but
come soon, though, I imagine.
yeah, you at least need one sword. Doom having some accuracy problems with his bombs, and trying to raise slash, but kind of just rage punching the wall. It's very on brand, honestly.
All right, so we haven't seen Uncle yet. We've got 7 bombs. That's good enough to go down to the mini Moldorm cave and kill those Moldorms. 5 is tough. 5 is close. You got to be pretty good with those.
Yeah, the minimum's 4 if you can double hit the ones on the left, but they like to pretend they're gonna give it to you and then just take it away. But with 7 bombs, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Oh, they have the hook shot, so it's not a problem.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, hookshot's weird for those of you who haven't played this game. Sometimes it stuns enemies, sometimes it kills them. It's not actually a weapon. Yeah, it's not actually a weapon available for escape because it only stuns guards. But it's nice, really nice for mini Moldorm because it does kill the Moldorms.
Doom able to get the hook clip through and save a trip here in the well. Ralen does miss it. And what do you know?
There's our sword, and there's Aga. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly they decide to go there. With missing, if they had hammer or gloves, I would be more inclined to check a couple more places just to make sure it's not there. But the fact that they're missing 2, this is almost definitely going to be an Aga seed. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly they decide to go Dark World.
I mean, we do have a lot of checks still. We've still got 5 items in Mini Moldorm Cave, Ice Rod Cave, Agina's Cave, all of Escape.
Yeah. The big one I'd be looking for right now is Mini Moldorm, being 5 checks. After that, I would probably consider just heading straight to Aga.
Doom actually giving us a look at Agina's Cave, which is not a common routing, unless your name is Boing.
I actually tend to like this as well. It's like 30 seconds. A lot of races are not determined by 30 seconds, and this is it's sure you're wasting 30 seconds, but if you get something here, especially in a situation like this where you're pretty sure you know what the path is, it can be a huge payoff.
Mini Moldorm, we got Arcanus, Samaria, and the Mirror, as well as 300 rupees, so getting closer to Zora money.
Yeah, it looks like Doom is going to be going straight to Aga. That mirror is actually really big because with the Dark World access that we're going to pick up. Oh, he might just be going to escape Uncle. But I was saying with the mirror, if you have Dark World access, it allows you to combo in a lot of these Light World checks because while you're just going there in the Dark World, you can just mirror, pick up the checks that you left. So I was looking for that before, and Ralen managed to pick it up. So that's a pretty big advantage right so far.
Yeah. It'd be surprising. I mean, Doom is making the play for Escape, and usually when you do Escape at this point without having done Mini Moldorm Cave, it feels like you're making the Aga play, right? Like do you really want to make a second trip over here?
He's definitely going to be making the Aga play. Probably Escape into Aga is what I would assume.
Yeah. Which means he's going to be skipping out on that mirror for a while.
Yeah, Mini Moldorm is actually one of the places you can't really combo in with Mirror anyways. So if he's hoping to find Mirror in Dark World, that's kind of a location that's going to be left open.
So Ralen just 99 rupees away from Zora. It's going to be the ultimate feel bad if he doesn't find those along the way, which there's 50 just taunting him from the island. All right, so first check is the single rupee. Now, the front of Escape might logically be locked right now. We do have that lamp. Depends on where that other.
You need because you can steal that key. You need the gloves for it to be in logic. I guess depending on where if the small key's
in Dark Cross, then
it's,
because we have the lamp. Yeah.
Yeah, potentially you could steal this key here to get the 3 items in the back, which would be it's a little bit of a risky play because then this last location here in Zelda gets very isolated.
Very isolated, yeah.
But you're kind of trading off 1 location for 4 early.
Yeah.
The only downside to that is you can get to the back of there when you do get gloves, and it becomes a very easy check. So
yeah.
It depends on what you're looking for. This would be a decent situation because you could theoretically be breaking Aga like that if like Hammer or something was back there.
Oh man, Ralen's so close, and there's just the map. So I imagine we'll see some farming from Ralen. I don't know what the stun prize is.
Could just be taking the peak here, yeah. And sometimes you make the play with Zora that, especially with the amount of items that Ralen has, you just say, well, I don't have the money for it, so we're just going to kind of abandon this. He does have the mirror, so he can combo in later. Before in the Ancilla fake flippers, you really only wanted to do catfish back to the waterfall checks when you had flippers, because otherwise you'd have to go down to, the only way to get to waterfall was the fake flipper down low. But now you can fake flipper from the mirror spot from catfish, so it makes that play a lot more attractive. Granted, they have the flippers in this seed, so everything I just said didn't matter, which is going to be a theme, so buckle in.
All right, so we are locked. The key is in the back. It is glove locked.
Yeah, Doom forgetting that you can't just NMG straight to the back there.
It does get our first bottle though, and a little surprise of the save and quit.
Yeah, he saved and quit. That's interesting.
So he is going to make some other checks. This is good because he will be able to get the spoke too soon. He's going towards.
I think Doom saving and quitting there is a situation of making the wrong play in the right situation. I would think it would be better just to go straight to Aga there, but if he's going to continue to do light roll checks, he will end up getting that mirror and Kane, so it's going to end up paying off for him.
Yeah, that was a bit surprising to see, but we'll see how it pays off. So Ralen going to get his bug net and his map down here, single rupee. And we get a first look at Saha's closet. And our green pennant is Pod. So you know there's at least one good progression item there.
And yeah, green pennant Pod, that's going to be 6 items overall.
Nothing in the back of Saha's closet, so we are running out of spots.
Yeah, and it looks like Doom is actually going to be going into Eastern as well.
I don't love this play. I understand it.
I think this is Doom's, because from what I saw in the match yesterday, Doom ended up skipping a lot of stuff, and like he would find something and then he would just kind of go to the next location. This might be what his sort of correction is to just check everything and kind of rely on his skill to carry the day at the end of it. I will say one thing to look out for when you're playing a primary NMG player is for when those boots show up, because we're used to having boots the entire time. So most of the tricks and like efficiency we know require the boots. So if it's a bootsless or a late boot seed, a lot of Doom's advantage is going to go away here.
So that's the trick. If you're playing against someone that is a top tier NMG runner.
Yeah, when Blaine says, "Do you want to run casual boots?" you tell him no. No, I do not.
All right, so just a dungeon item, I believe, in the first check. And our second bottle. You think we're going to find anything here in Eastern? Glove, perhaps?
Probably not. Eastern never has anything, man.
Yeah.
Like, the lamp does make it a little more likely, because the Stark Room's already in logic. The one game-changing item in here would be bow.
Yeah. All right, so we are going to get a vanilla big key here. The first 2 items, just a bottle and 3 bombs. And Ralen just heading right into Aga. skipping out on Eastern, skipping out on Saha. He's got the mirror, so this is actually
Yeah, he's probably
this play
thinking
makes it.
combo Eastern in with pod
With pod.
with that mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's
And
granted it's a pendant, so you may not have to go there, but
so this
still,
is sort of a conundrum amongst random runners, right? Is like, do you do pod, crystal, or pendant after Aga? Like, do you make the play over there, or do you with the items that you have, the flippers and the hookshot, do you make the play over to the west dark?
yeah, I would if Thieves Sound ends up being a crystal, I think I would, because we have the hookshot, so I would just go straight to Village of Outcast, the hookshot. It's end in the mirror, so he can knock off Graveyard Ledge, he can knock off all of Village of Outcast, Thieves Town, go all the way down to Hype Cave, and if all of that's blank, then you can make the play into pod. That gets you a lot of fairly efficient checks that way, and it puts off put the pendant dungeon that you may not need, and nothing that could be in pod's really going to help you for. I mean, hammer for Thieves Town, you do make that risky play, but I don't mind that. Personally, that's one of those things. Like, if the seed's going to beat me that way, it's going to beat me that way.
Yeah.
And I try not to worry about it. But yeah, I'd put off pod, and then you'd have the mirror access back if you found no other Dark World access, and then you could just head right to pod. When pod's a pendant, I like doing with mirror. I like doing the mirror into Eastern, then coming back to pod if I find nothing.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. So Doom is going to pick up his mirror and his Canis Samaria here, and that trip over to Eastern just cost him a time.
Yeah. Eastern, you don't save too much from double dipping it. You pretty much walk through the entire dungeon again. So that's pretty much mostly time loss for Doom. Even if Ralen gets to go mode Eastern, it won't be that fast, but basically Doom is just behind now from the Sasha and Eastern checks, which Ralen will end up doing anyways at some point.
I think he should have, with the checks here, he should have enough money to check Zora too.
Zora was, Ice Rod Cave was $50.
Yeah, it was $50, and I think there was some more money in the waterfall.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention for like a stun prize.
Stun prize is a small magic container.
Oh, okay. One of the things I need to remember my prize packs, which I actually don't know very well. I just know what enemies are supposed to drop me what items.
Yeah. I mean, it really only matters in standard openings, really.
I mean, a situation like this, if you knew like crabs had were the rupee prize pack, you could farm those fairly efficiently right here. But yeah, the two ones that are really big are the bombs and the pure rupee one.
So he will Tracker again bailing this out. 700 rupees in the waterfall, so he'll have enough for Zora. So we'll see if Ralen missed out anything there.
Yeah, this could be another potentially. Although I think Ralen's going to have a fairly efficient check when he decides to do Catfish. I'm assuming he will combo in Zora at that point.
Yeah. Though he won't be able to do Catfish right away without that glove.
No, that's true. Oh, you know, that's a good point. I forgot about that. They can't even get to Village of Outcast right now.
Oh wait, no. They can. They got the flippers.
Yeah. Right. It's flippers, glove, or hammer plus hookshot gets you over there. And that's actually another one of the good spots to use the new Ancilla to get you easier access. If you have a hookshot and none of those items, you can Ancilla over there.
So Aga not playing too nice. Seen a few flu blue balls so far already. Alright, so there's the Zora money. And it looks like it was only like 2 or 3. Looks like 2 blue balls from Aga, so not too bad. Get a look at the pyramid here. So just 3 bombs. I feel like in this situation, especially since Ralen used his potion, pod isn't even a thought.
Yeah. Without the potion, I wouldn't be thinking pod too much right here. Especially because he hasn't done Sasha. I think he's really trying to combo it in with Eastern and the mirror.
I'm just telling you, man.
Which it's a mistake I
Pod's
make.
gonna have something.
I try to put that off way too long. Oh,
there's a confirmation. Go to Aga, please. So that'll help Doom's.
Yeah, that'll actually speed. Aga Tower with just Fighter Sword is very slow. So normally Doom is most used to doing it with bow, but just with the Master Sword, he's gonna get through this pretty quickly. So that is a overall time save for Doom having the Master Sword early. I suspect Ralen will get that eventually, but Doom's gonna have a more powerful sword to start off with.
If you just watched Ralen's Aga climb, it was pretty slow, and that's due to not having strong weapons at the start.
Yeah, there's
the first 2 ball and chain guards in the beginning take forever.
Yeah, Doom will be able to kill him just with a single spin here. If he remembers his strats from when he was a new runner. No, he does not. Okay. never mind. Doom is so good he doesn't even know the backups.
All right, so we got our first look at the Dark World map. We've got Pendant Thieves Town, which is the worst. Pendant Ice Palace and Pendant Pod. It looked like our other 5-6 was Skull Woods.
Yeah, Pendant Ice Palace is pretty nice, but you never want to see Thieves Town. You can always do Thieves Town as soon as you get Dark World access, or at least Dark World access over there.
Oh, that's the same thing with Pod, right? Like you don't Pendant Pod, Pendant East, Thieves Town. But having both of them be pendants is just
Well, Pod you don't like because it's a fairly item dense location. So like it feels like there's stuff in there a lot, and you kind of feel like you have to go in there anyways.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the hammer's going to be in Pendant Pod right now.
Oh, we had a hammer. These 2 runners had a hammer in Ice Palace yesterday. So,
oh jeez,
like, so send them warm wishes today.
All right, so Doom actually breaking out his potion there. Do you like to play into Skullwoods from Ralen here?
This play to me is like just how you're feeling that day. Actually, in this situation, I take that back. In this situation, I do like it. With his level of Dark World access, you feel really priced into checking everything. So you skip anything, and that was the item you missed. You got to come all the way back around the loop. So if like Hammer is here, so in this situation where he's got really poor Dark World access, this I believe is correct.
Yeah, it just takes so long to get back to Skull Woods if there is an item here.
Yeah, when you get Aga Dark World access, what you're really looking for, I kind of call it true Dark World access, where you have just really Hammer and Mitts, because that gives you all the locations. Just having either Mitts or just having the gate really limits you in your routing. Getting to the other side of the world takes so long that you really don't want to skip too much.
So just keys in the beginning. I think it was a vanilla big key. All right, first of the 2 items in Skullwoods is a heart container.
And to answer one of the chat questions, the way you get Dark World access without gloves is you kill Aga, which is the way you're intended to get it in the vanilla game. So that's why Doom is stepping up to the lottery machine at the moment.
Second item in Skullwoods is Master Sword, so we know where Tempered is.
Yeah, Doomtap did a lot more, pretty much full cleared white roll before coming to Aga. Ralen skipped pretty much just Sasha and Eastern, I believe.
Yeah, didn't do a Genis Cave. So Doom actually did everything in the White World except for Sick Kid.
Right. So Ralen still has Sasha, Eastern Palace, Zora, and Agena. And the only thing that was in any of that was what's going to be Ralen's Tempered Sword at Zora. Or maybe gold sword when it gets there. I don't know.
Yeah. $20 in the sea house. You like these kind of seeds? These sort of linear, you don't really have a lot of choices sort of seeds?
I think like and is good for me are two different things.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty good for me, but they can be a little just like a little boring, I guess. Not a lot of choices to be made.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
we're still missing a lot of items that open stuff up. So there's once we get something like mitts or something, then a lot of choices are going to open up.
Yeah, we need that first glove.
Yeah, first glove actually. One of the things I like about Randomizer is there's a lot of different ways of opening up locations. So with something like late gloves, like normally you think like, oh, gloves, it opens up so much for me. But if you get them like really late, you already had access to a lot of those locations through other means.
Yeah.
So the one main thing gloves will get them right now is Death Mountain, and that'll give them instant access to like 9 checks.
Well, yeah, we've got the hook shot. So yeah, you got all the Death Mountain.
Yeah, all with the mirror. That'll get them to Hera too.
All right, so with that check of Sick Kid, 100% confirmed. I'm pretty sure it was confirmed I could see it anyways, but that was all of the light roll checks before I go.
Yeah, there couldn't have been anything there. Even if it was gloves or hammer, they were missing the other piece of it, so...
Well, if it was a glove,
that's true.
Again,
Glove could have opened up
to
other stuff. It's true.
Like, we still haven't seen the back of Escape, which has 2 items.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, map was in Zelda Cell, and... Yeah, and the key is going to be back there because Doom couldn't get to the back with full clearance.
So here's the question, is how far into Thieves Town are you going to
go? Thieves Town, again, depends. It really depends on how many you find early. If you find 3, going deeper feels pretty bad. I haven't been keeping track of how many Ralen has found so far. Got the heart there.
Yeah, got the heart and the big key. I think I saw the compass, so he's continuing on.
Yeah. So for 2 items, maybe depending on... You could also do, if you want to hedge your bets, you could finish the loop out to Hype Cave, and if you still don't have anything, then trek back here, because that trek will be slightly shorter than going around up top again.
Okay, so chat filling this in. He only got 1 item. No small keys, so that means we're not going to find the hammer here, but that doesn't mean we can't find something else, like a glove.
Well, there's still could be hammer in the attic and then key in the basement, but that's very specific, obviously. But yeah, in this situation, you're always hoping you don't find the map or the compass, or you don't find a key. That way, you can just cross Thieves Town off your list and never have to come back.
Yeah.
As long as you get that, you're not too upset with the play.
All right, so Doom gonna pick up his tempered sword here, and another heart. Our runners are still on green mail. Ralen's must have picked up a bunch of hearts along the way because he's up to 8, and Doom's only got 5.
Yeah, there was one just in the front of Thieves Town, and I think there's one in Skullwoods. I think I saw Ralen grabbing a heart there too.
Yeah. All right, and a heart piece is our second item in Thieves Town.
We might be headed towards a pretty good Hype Cave today.
Or pod, I'm telling you, man.
Or pod. Or the Hype Cave's gonna be like the mushroom, and the mushroom gets you like, fire rod. One of those where it's like, oh man, I need big progression. It's got to be Hype Cave, right? And it just gives you just a little breadcrumb, and you're just like, Seed, like. Interesting. Doom went for the Death Warp there when he has the mirror.
He needed that second heart back.
Yeah, I guess. I think this is a lot of little stuff like that are things that Doom isn't necessarily going to be comfortable thinking about on the fly with his not having a lot of random experience.
It's Ralen having to go the long way, since he still doesn't have a glove, not able to lift up that large, whatever block.
Excited for when Doom gets there, because Doom does play all dungeons. So there's a pretty sweet strat we do in there.
Ooh, there's our first glove.
So Thieves Town paying off. Yeah, that's probably fortunate for Ralen that the front only had one item, forcing him to come down here. If it was the other way, 3 up top and the glove down here, that'd be really tempting to skip.
A last location glove.
Yeah, that would be a last location glove, probably. Ralen's been playing pretty conservatively. I would think part of his plan would be to take a few more risks to try to close the execution gap. But the seed has been linear. There really hasn't been a lot of places for him to do so.
Yeah, the difference is he went to Eastern Saha and got nothing, and Agina's Cave and got nothing. I do believe he's been able to make up some time, though, in execution.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all 4 items out of Thieves Town that gives us our blue mail, so you don't have to come back here at all.
Yeah, nice to know that it's crossed off. I would have been tempted to mirror out and just leave blind with that glove.
All right, so glove actually opens up quite a bit. Like you said, we've got logical access to the mountain, back of escape, so that's a lot of checks. We can get up to Hera.
Yeah, I think you got to finish this loop off because again, you don't have the hammer to get back here, and you really don't want to leave it here.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah.
And it's really not going to get more efficient at any point. So
nice quick 3 digs from the dig game gives us a heart piece, which Ralen says, you know what, I'll take that.
Yeah, there was a sword. So far, the swords have been. The first one was really early. I think it was Kakariko. And then Skullwoods and Zora. And so Ralen is missing the sword from Zora, which is the difference here. Doom actually skipped Thieves Town completely.
Oh, wow.
Or he's not.
But he's not going to be able to go back now.
Oh,
so he's got just enough now.
Yeah, I've been there. If he was a little shorter, we could have seen the arrow game, which is usually an inverted only, but
and there's our bow.
So yeah. So now, all right, this is kind of the first decision here. Does Ralen take that bow straight to Pod and Eastern? Or because not having the hammer in Pod, if it's a pendant, really isn't that big of a deal. Especially with the mirror, because you can go right, you can clear out Pod except for Helma. You can mirror back from the right side, and then you can clear out Eastern, which is a pen or a crystal. So I think Pod versus Death Mountain here is our first big choice.
Wow, what a hype cave, huh?
Yeah, that's on me. Sorry. We did get gloves and bow since I said that, so.
So, man, so where's Ralen gonna go?
Ralen actually might be making.
Is he going to swamp? Wow. I mean, if this is the hammer, this is the play of the match.
if it's anything, really. Now this feels conservative, but this could also be one of those let me make a kind of just a random check and see if I can spike something, and that can hand me the win right there.
Yeah, I like it.
Sometimes the quote unquote conservative play is the risky, like what I mentioned with Igina before. If you think your opponent's going to skip it, checking it and spiking something can turn the match.
What's gonna be? With that bow in hand, do you think Raylan's gonna be more tempted to go over to Eastern at this point? Or...
Yeah, like I said, Eastern or Death Mountain. Tower of Hera is a crystal too. One of the big things runners think about with Death Mountain is each trip up the mountain costs about a minute, so you really want to minimize trips up there. So like, if you can, put it off to the end and like have mitts, have hookshot, have hammer, have mirror, and just do all of Death Mountain in one swing, and then just for like a Turtle Rock crystal, just put Turtle Rock right into Ganon's tower. That's kind of what you're going for. So
it's the dream, yeah. But
it's always like, when do I want to go up Death Mountain? Here, Ralen, and then there's always a possibility that you have mitts on Death Mountain, and we'll be able to effectively do the same thing.
So, are we going to see both runners make the play into pod right now?
Well, Doom definitely is. He missed the glove, so he doesn't have Death Mountain access. So if it's pod is better for Doom right now, because that will if this gives a significant piece of progression like the hammer, that'll allow Doom to do other stuff. He may actually make the Thieves Town play then and catch up with the glove. If this is if it's Death Mountain, then Doom's in a little trouble because he's got to go all the way back to Thieves Town and do that big loop that I was mentioning before. He's
actually in trouble already because he's only got 80 rupees.
Oh yeah. This is another thing that can get NMG runners, is because we're just so used to like we make the check before like 2 seconds before this that like, hey, we have enough rupees. I did the tree pulls.
Yeah.
And you don't so you don't even look at your rupee count going into pod. And I have done this a lot. So I feel Doom on this one.
Yeah, he's gonna go grab the rupees in the back, right?
I assume you just finished the dungeon and maybe get the rupees in the back.
That's right. He did it.
I wouldn't think about those rupees in the back. That's a good point. Let's see if Doom knows about that.
So this isn't the worst. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah, and like I said, this is the play I would tend to make anyways. I would want to finish off Eastern Palace before pod. Even in this situation where it's unlikely that Armos has anything, it's like, we have to do this. You might not have to do pod, so the only thing that could possibly be bad is boots and pod, which would speed this up.
Yeah, we've already seen all 3 items here though, so there's nothing left here. Ralen will make his checks and we'll just single dip Eastern, which will save him a bit of time. All right, Doom, go get those rubies.
Right. Okay. So he does know about them. Doom also plays a lot of weird categories, so he knows. I don't know if this room is ever really used or anything, but he knows a lot of the weird rooms, so it might come to his brain a little bit more. I believe he is still the max % swords world record holder, which is a hell of a category.
What's the category? Max %?
You get 8 swords. You get tempered, you downgrade it to fire sword, then you upgrade it to tempered, and you just keep making that loop.
Wow.
Yeah. You keep getting, because the dwarves will keep tempering stuff for you as long as you don't have tempered sword. So you basically get the tempered sword, turn into gold sword, downgrade into fighter sword, turn into tempered sword, downgrade it into master sword, turn into tempered sword.
How do you downgrade it?
You just get the vanilla game will allow you to downgrade items if you get them after.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not progressive like they are in Rando.
All right, so 39 minutes in, we see our first crystal. And it goes to Doomtap.
A little disappointed there that Doom went for Yuzo Armos yesterday, and I was all ready to hype that up, and just does the standard top right strat. Very clean though.
All right, so this is going to be his trip into pod here, and we'll see. I mean, he could get bailed out and find a glove here, though. We'll see when he gets, if that happens. We'll see when he gets mitts. So the best thing to happen if you're rooting for Doomtap is to pod have absolutely nothing. I think a glove would probably be the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Glove probably means he's never going back to Thieves Town. I think any progression here is potentially bad.
Yeah.
Because it's going to lead him away from that glove. If he doesn't get progression here, he pretty much has to go back to Thieves Town.
Yep. Yeah.
And I would say boots would be the best case because then he'll be able to. Doom will just tear through Thieves Town at that point, and it'll save him a little time over what Ralen did. But he would lose the having to go through the loop.
I really want to see what's in the back of Escape.
Oh.
Okay, so
No.
I just want to. Can we rewind the tape and see who predicted that the hammer would be in pod?
You're mean. You're very mean.
I mean, I've just seen it too many times. Pendant pod
Yeah.
always has progression. It just does. And here, I'll tell you this: if it has one piece of progression, it's gonna have two.
Yeah, that's what happened yesterday. Was gloves were early pod, and then mitts were in the back of pod, and Doom left back of pod, so he didn't get the mitts. Now it's possible Ralen hasn't actually. He came here in Dark World, so I'm assuming he's thinking.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to find a glove or a hammer or something, and then, but he'll find that hammer really quickly. And
Man, he's
we'll
got
see
the
if
chance.
he continues on.
Yeah, he's got the chance to change his mind and maybe he starts thinking about Death Mountain, but I feel like it's likely he's going to go into pod. Yeah, he's going to.
All right, so nothing in the back is bow locked, though we're not really worried about that since we've got the bow. So with hammer, mirror, flippers, and hook shot, is Doom gonna go to swamp before he goes to Thieves Town?
I probably would. If you already kind of got your item out of a pendant dungeon already, so you're probably like thinking, all right, that's enough of that. So yeah, I think that Thieves Town play is going to get put off for a while. Although the problem is he's got terrible. Oh wait, no, he doesn't. He can just go through the gate and then hammer down to swamp.
Yeah. A glove here would be pretty funny.
Yeah, glove here or in swamp.
Oh, I mean, mitts are always in Swamp Palace too, so I'm sure that's where the mitts are.
Could you compile a list of where things always are and send it to me? Because that would help me out.
I mean, just yesterday in my match against Mentos, man, I had mitts and pendant swamp or pendant swamp that you couldn't complete. They're always there. They're just always there.
My notes say Bo's always in Lower Norfair, which hasn't helped me at all.
All right, so we've gotten all the keys. What else do we have here?
Yeah. So would you? I would finish pod here because of the green pendant.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yep.
With pod green pendant is always nice because Sasha's right there.
There's a book, which may or may not be progression. We don't know. Yeah. But there's another unique item. Like I said, if there's one, there's two. That book's gonna get us something. I'm telling you.
If I was Ralen, I'd be more considering dipping out of the back of pod. He may have a little bit of fighting the last war syndrome here with how pod played yesterday.
Yeah.
But in this situation, it's going to work out for. Well, the book may or may not be anything, but it's.
Oh, it's going to be something.
It's always a red herring, man. The book is never chase book.
Early, don't chase early book. Late book though.
Book does give. Actually, yeah, Book is just going to be pulling Doom further and further away from those gloves because that gives him Desert Palace as well, which is also a crystal.
All right, so Doom is thinking and leaving.
Yeah, so Doom does dip out of pod without doing Helma. I didn't see. I wasn't counting compass and map.
Yeah,
I don't know if Helma's two items or one item. If it's just one, if it's just say like, if it's just a normal pendant, right? Generally, I would skip Helma. So if it's green pendant, it's the same weight more or less. In fact, a little worse because you have to do the extra walking. If it's two though, that's real tempting.
All right, so Ralen mirrors, and he's going for it. So is Doom heading south here?
No, he's heading north.
So he's gonna go check. So this is wow.
I was talking to Doom before this match, and I said, Doom, I'm gonna let you tell you right now. I'm gonna refer to your style as routing as jazz, just kind of free form and making it up as you go along.
All right, so he is going to pot or to Skullwoods now.
From
it looks
Doom's
like
perspective, I think this is correct.
Sure.
Unfortunately, he's still going to be missing those gloves. It's really going to depend when we get back to Thieves Town.
So, looking at Ralen's menu, I believe there is an item on Helmasaur.
Okay, that makes sense. So this could be some time that Doom makes up here if Helma and Green Pendant are nothing. This is free time that Doom's got. And it could be there's plenty of times where it's like, a runner misses an important item like gloves or something, and you're like, oh, that's so bad. That's pretty much the game, and it just turns out there's nothing behind that item.
Yeah,
and it just leads you. I mean, if let's say like Deathmount is just a big old blank, right? Ralen's gonna go up there, clear all that. He's gonna lose a bunch of time. Meanwhile, Doom will find like, boots, fire rod, and ice rod somewhere in some weird location, and all of a sudden he's in the lead. So sometimes missing items that you think are important can be beneficial.
Yeah, for sure. I can think of times where like I found like an early mirror and I'm like, oh, this is great. No one, like found it on the pyramid or something, and I check all the mirror spots. It doesn't get me anything. It just costs me time in the end. It's the worst.
Yeah, mirror is real fickle because it can help a lot with your routing, but it also all the mirror locations are just like they're the worst place. Like Graveyard Ledge, just terrible. Bombos is bad. K45 is the only one you feel like you can do. Like you're happy to have it when you first check it, but the rest of them are just not good.
Yeah, but if you don't have it when you check Stumpy and stuff, then it's way out of the way.
Yeah.
All right, so Helma gives us $20.
Yeah. So far, we still have the hope of the green pendant.
Vanilla? Is the green pendant going to be vanilla?
Ugh. I hope not.
You know what also might make Doom put off Thieves Town? He's got that book. He might head over to Desert.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking before. The Desert's going to be kind of a long check because there's no floop to get over there, no boots to speed up over there, and then no boots that you can potentially not complete it.
Okay, so leaving pod was the correct play. And there's a compass, so we've got at least one item on the left-hand side. And so Doom is actually just going to make the play for the left-hand side anyways.
Yeah, not actually using the key to speed up this check. What do you think about left side first?
If you're going to full clear it, I feel like it's the play to do.
See, I don't like it because I only do it if I find the big key. Because then you still have to come back for the big key.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I find the big key early, and it's only more efficient if you open this door first.
I mean, I never want to do left side swamp, so
yeah, there's that too. That's the other thing is
never.
If you put off left side, you just get a better handle of like if it's going to be worth it.
Right, like I'm
second.
comfortable leaving one item there. So if I go through the dungeon and it's one item, I'm probably gonna leave it. Shoot, I've left 2 or 3 items there, so I don't know. But we should be finding the mitts here anytime since we are in Swamp Palace. And this is this is really surprising to see. Ralen Tankir is actually heading to Swamp Palace as well.
Yeah, I think this is, like I said before, you really want to, one of your goals is minimize your trips to Death Mountain. And with Swamp being a crystal and 6 items, it makes it pretty attractive to come in here.
Yeah, I never want to come in here without the boots. So there was 2 items on the left-hand side, but they're both trash.
I don't think the boots don't help that much unless you're worried about zero cycling in here.
I just hate walking through the water. It just feels slow.
Yeah, it's definitely slow. The good thing about water that was pumping becomes even more efficient.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Effort, I know.
All right, so no big keys, so we're gonna have to come back for that. Though
Yeah.
there's still a small possibility that it's either the big key is locked there or it's the map. So we'll see.
Yeah, but this is why I hate, because I don't want to ever like walk up backwards with the big key.
Yeah.
So I just tend to put off left side till the end, unless, like I said, it's the big key early, and then I'll kind of just take that trip.
All right, there's the map. So we're hoping for the big key in the big chest. Still have to make another trip. Running out of items in here, though.
I am surprised we haven't found our requisite sword yet. Speaking of items, locations that always have an item.
So let's see what Ralen does. Is he going to go left right away? He's not.
Nope. Nope,
Tricked
just-
us. Oh,
Okay, I was about to say, I support murdering that Tektite over there for no reason, because that guy, I hate that guy so much.
Yeah. But he does save a trip using the key there. Down to 1 heart.
And I hope everyone has learned why you don't stand above Argus.
All right. So a completely empty Swamp Palace.
Yeah, that's feels
that's-
bad, but I think that's the best thing for Doom, because he's got to
sure.
get the Thieves down at some point.
Yeah, 100%. This is why I don't fully support or understand Ralen's decision to come here, because you're similar to the mountain, you want to make as few trips to the mountain, but go moding Swamp is really the goal, right?
Yeah, if you would put, so he's doing left side first. If you put left side second, not go moding this isn't too bad. You really just have the extra bomb check up front, and then the random room, and like you have to push the block. It's not too bad, as long as you're kind of in a mentality of, I'm going to skip left side, or at least I'm going to try to skip left side. But doing left side first, yeah, is, like I said, Ralen's playing really conservatively. I don't know if he necessarily is thinking about playing his opponent or knows much about Doomtap or anything, because Doomtap really isn't a name in the random community.
Yeah.
So, but personally, if I was in this matchup, I would think to be trying to make play some gambles. Although, like I said, going left side feels conservative, but you can view it as a gamble, because if something is there,
Sure. Yeah, a majority of runners are going to skip left side, so I guess it's all how you. This is the tough part about playing 1v1, right? Like when you're playing in a big daily or weekly, you can make some gambles because there's so many people playing.
Yeah, it depends on what your mentality is in those. If it always feels bad playing the big ones. It's like the second you make one play, it doesn't work out. You're like, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
That was fun. GG. But yeah, playing in I've had a couple 1v1s where it's like, like, oh man, I've completely lost this. I'm gonna lose by like 20 minutes. Meanwhile, it's like the time is clicking over to 2 hours. I'm fighting Ganon. I'm like, what the heck happened to the other guy? Like,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you talk to him afterwards, and you realize all the dumb things they did.
All right, so we've got the big key for Desert. Unfortunately for Doom, he doesn't have the glove to get to the back.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah, so unfortunately, the items that he found, really just leading him on a wild goose chase here. The one thing Doom could potentially do here, since Meyer is a crystal, we know we're going to get the flute. You have to
Yeah.
get the mitts. Now that he's cleared off the front of, unless Lamo is an important piece of the progression change, he can just put off Lamo to just combo him with Meyer and just go right back there, and it'll be a fairly quick kill.
All right, so where is Doom gonna head now? Doesn't really have Dark World access yet.
I think he's gonna be doing back to Thieves Town. Looks like.
Yeah, but he's got to go through the portal.
Meanwhile, Ralen's fighting Argus with Master Sword. Doom does have Tempered, so this fight was a lot quicker for him. So these are a lot of like the little things, like finding a sword upgrade early saves a good bit of time.
Yeah, for sure.
Doom just got a 1 cycle. I think this looks like Ralen barely avoided. Nope, he got an empty cycle on the 3rd,
Yeah.
which is always a bad feel. Just Argus staring at you.
All right, so Doom's gonna find out that this isn't gonna work, and made this trek for nothing.
Oh yeah.
Feels bad.
I always wonder what it looks like when I play this game, and now I know. This is all the stuff I do. Just you get when you play rando enough, and you're just so used to like, oh, I'll just go over here, and like, oh right, I don't have that item.
So the good thing, if you're rooting for Doomtap in this, the good thing is he's not too far behind with Ralen finishing pod and not getting anything out of it, and then choosing Swamp next and full clearing it. Like, Ralen hasn't been able to really take advantage of having those gloves yet.
Yeah. And unfortunately, like I said, I think a lot of Doom's advantage should come from having boots. Desert is not boots locked. So
yeah, so Ralen's actually gonna be able to full clear it here, so he will be able to. He'll save a trip to Desert.
Well, the main thing I was pointing out is there's no guarantee. None of the boots locked locations so far have been boots.
Yeah.
So that's something you always like to see. Even something an item up on Lumberjack, I don't mind too much because it's like I know I'm getting the boots, so I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was one item. So I'm trying to figure out. There was one item in the big chest, which was 10 arrows. I think Landmo has one item as well. So we'll find that what that is with Ralen here soon.
Yeah, Doom still can't check Catfish because of the no glove.
Yeah, I feel like the missed opportunity by Ralen was finding that glove. Like, you got to feel good about finding that glove. The thief. I don't think I've seen the thief make it down that far before, but there he is. Hasn't really done any gloved checks. Like, he hasn't checked the back of Escape. Hasn't been up to the mountain.
Yeah, that is interesting. When you get an item like that in a pendant dungeon, you that's one of those things that you may want to like try to pressure advantage on.
That's why
he may be
swamp,
avoiding that. Yeah, I was saying.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he may be avoiding that solely because he would think, because of, like I said, when you make that non-true Dark World access loop, he may just be assuming Doom definitely got those. So he wasn't necessarily looking to, just took it as another piece of progression, not a like bounty that he got that he should chase down.
I just think I would have done the mountain over swamp in that situation. I know it's a crystal, but so is Hera. So we're an hour in. What are we? We're still looking for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We still need our
Oh.
mitts. We still need the flute. We need a medallion, at least one of them. We have neither of the rods.
Yeah. I think it's all got to be on. I'm betting mitts are up on Death Mountain, and it's just all going to be there. Because between the two of them, we've seen most of the stuff at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the only thing that we haven't seen, I think, is Landmo.
Yeah, Landmo. Did Ralen ever check Catfish? No, because he never got. He would have. Yeah, he would have done that, and probably. I assume he would go get his sword at that point.
I still want to know what's in the back of Escape because I feel like there's something there. I know it's only 2 items, but
yeah, I haven't seen something back of Escape besides like a medallion, like in forever.
Oh, did we did.
Well, thank you, chat, for.
Yeah, I totally missed that.
I'll say you're wrong about one thing so far. So
I was wrong about those mitts too.
Wait, I probably would have done Death Mountain by now and put off Desert Palace. Without boots, it's just sketchy coming in here, and without any sort of like flute, it's long to get here. So this is, it's kind of for Ralen, it was fairly big risk to walk all the way over here, and then you don't even know if you can complete it, and then it's only 2 items.
Pulling out the hammer for Landmo here with Master Sword, hammer, bow. What's the fastest, most efficient way to kill Landmo here?
Bow. This is Doom's Landmo practice may pay off.
Well, he got tempered when he goes back, so.
Well, I'll caveat bow if you're good at the fight. It's a very difficult fight to do well. Hammer and Master Sword spins here is a pretty good backup.
I like to use bombs in this situation.
Bomb Molus. The strat from the before time. The long, long ago.
So, Desert, nothing. And Doom getting his gloves and choosing to kill Blind as well, get his blue mail.
Yeah, I think Doom getting that glove just kind of is going to flip his brain to skip nothing mode, which he basically this is really the only thing he skipped, which so it's unfortunate. And I'm surprised he didn't at least even do first 4.
Mm-hmm. But he's only behind Desert, and when he goes back, he may even have the boots at that time. So, and I'm sure his Landmo fight will be a bit better, having better equipment. So, he's still fully in this.
Yeah, like he's at this point, I expect him to just do Desert with Meyer whenever he gets over there.
The old mirror to save and quit strat.
Yeah. And another thing that I always forget.
To go back to the sanctuary.
Yeah, well, he was probably better off just mirroring and walking straight to Death Mountain. Now he's gonna check what you've been wanting him to check for a while.
Yeah. Gotta get that heart piece. All right, so our first look at the mountain, and it's gonna be a treasure trove of items, I'm guessing, just because we need them and there's nowhere else to go. So Old Man doesn't have much.
There's no way mitts aren't up here. Mitts are the blocking the most stuff right now. We got both items out of Skull, right? So even Fire
Yeah, it
Rod
was-
by itself.
Yep. It was a sword and a heart container.
Yeah. So Mitts are here. Like that's there's really no other option. Or
Real-
potentially the only thing that it could be that's not Mitts is like boots, and then
Right. There's
Mitts
something that's
somewhere.
gonna lead to Mitts up here for sure.
Yeah, but I
The real question is, what's an ice palace?
probably nothing at this point.
Fire rod? You find bombos and find
Yeah,
fire rod and
bombos.
ice.
That's one of my rules. If you have bombos and mitts, then flippers, then fire rods in Ice Palace.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this strat before. The immediate play to spike cave. And you have all of Death Mountain to do.
Yeah.
It's bold. It's bold cotton.
Usually I like to do this either after Hera or after Dark Death Mountain. Or actually, what I really like to do is just forget that it exists.
Yeah.
And then forfeit, and then ask in chat where was Fire Rod.
Yeah, it sounds also very similar to my strats.
Yeah, Spiral Cave apparently. Yes, this was an Agaseed. So far, we found hammer in pod and gloves in Thieves Town, and they were both pendants.
It was basement of Thieves Town too.
Basement Thieves Town. Basement with only one item up front though, so I think that changes the how mean it was a little bit.
Yeah.
If it was 3 up front and in the basement, then just.
The seed feels like it's been going on a lot longer than an hour and 7 minutes, but I think it's just because they've been bootless this entire time.
Yeah. Also, I just realized Ice Palette is a pendant, which is another one of my favorite mistakes.
Yeah. That's why there's.
I love getting that 8th crystal.
Yeah. All right. So, was the book required?
We haven't seen Bombos yet either. Oh no, we did.
Sure was.
Oh yeah, it was. It was required.
It sure was. What do you know? When there's one item in pendant pod.
So this is this is kind of tightened up a bit because really the only thing Ralen has done that Doom needs to do is Desert Palace, and like we said, that Lamo fight for him is going to be real quick. So they've kind of converged at this point. Ralen, the only other boss that Ralen's done is Pod. Unless the seed gets really bad at the end, I don't see Doomtap going back there. And then we haven't actually seen a pet check, right?
No, we haven't seen a pet check.
No, we thought Doom might be going over there, but he just forgot he didn't have gloves. So
disappointed. So we do have to go to the basement to get the big key. Disappointed in not seeing any hair clip from Ralen. We'll see if Doom does it.
I'm not sure Doom knows it.
So a bit of a break for both of our runners here. Though I don't think Doom being an NMG, I don't think he's gonna take a break.
Oh, I take a break. I need my breaks, man.
He went for the break, but it looks like it didn't work out for him.
Yeah, as long using the boomerang here actually would still be optimal, because you change the switch here, and you're not wasting any time. The only time it's suboptimal to take a break is like going to Samaria or something you're not using anyways. But Doom started with the boomerang, so he's not losing any time by doing this. But yeah, I will break out the bombs to put the controller down for a minute here. Are you kidding me?
That's what I do. All right, Ralen taking an unfortunate fall there.
Yeah, that beetle room is definitely one of the top 10 hardest rooms in the game. A lot of the top 10 hardest rooms in the game are actually in Light World. I think Doom is probably going to be doing the NMG strat here. Yeah, it's a very nice strat. There is a slightly faster way of doing it with Tempered Sword that I actually don't know, but just doing the basic fighter sword strat there is pretty quick. Now, are we going to see an early bomb jump? Was my question. Probably not without boots.
I hate this bomb jump.
I would like, if anyone would like a pamphlet to the Church of Spin Strats, I have one available. The only time it's I found out the only time it's really bad when you're really reliant on spin strats is when you come here and you're like, I don't have a sword.
Yeah. All right, so nothing in Hera but the crystal.
Yeah, and you can see here Doom making up a lot. Doom entered like 30 to 40 seconds behind Ralen, and they're going to jump into Moldorm at the almost exact same frame.
And Doom's gonna be faster with a Tempered Sword as well.
Yeah, only 2 hits on Moldorm, where Master Sword or Hammer requires 3.
Yeah, this really came down to Ralen not going up to the mountain, choosing to do Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything Ralen has still checked that Doom has yet to check besides the back of pod. So it's back of pod that Ralen's done and Landmo. So Ralen still does have a small lead here because of the Landmo kill, but that's really only going to take Doom a minute or maybe 2 if we never find boots. So the routing of Death Mountain can be a little interesting. To be able to get all the items, this is kind of the best case scenario where you have the mirror. But if you need to check both Dark Death Mountain and Death Mountain, it can be a little interesting to figure out what the optimal way through all of it is.
Sure.
I think this makes the most sense, checking Spiral Cave and going down. Especially because they came from Hera.
Yeah.
Usually I do it the other way. I hook shot over, and then I would put Hera at the end. Which in this situation would cost me, because I wouldn't get those mitts till the very end. I'd have to walk back over.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, because I would do Spiral Cave. I would leave Spiral Cave, do Hera, come back, and then pop down to Dark World. So it would have been alright. Does Doom remember which door to go into?
He does not.
He does not.
All right, so we've got a lot of items here. We're gonna find some stuff.
Yeah, I expect finding more stuff here, and then if not, I guess Smith sequence would probably be your next thought. Flute feels like it has to be here, or in Dark Death Mountain.
So we've got their Ether Medallion, which we don't know if it's necessary or not yet.
I'm gonna bet Meyer is going to be Ether, and then we get what's it called, Flute here as well.
Okay, so the top of Paradox Cave doesn't give us anything. I say it's a pretty lackluster Paradox Cave.
Yeah, I mean the big reward we got was on Ether.
But the mitts, I mean, the mitts at this point don't open a ton.
No, the mitts open what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get 6 checks here. Doom hasn't done Spiral Cave, or not Spike Cave either. So he might do that after these checks.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, our second medallion. I'm just waiting to see Bombos.
The double Bombos, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it one of those medallions probably opens either Turtle Rock or Meyer.
Yeah.
It's not when you have like people say like, oh, it's a 60% chance. Son of a. Close my mouth. I was gonna say because Rando has to give you the medallion, right?
Yeah.
It becomes slightly higher probability that the medallion you have is the one you need.
How about the ice rod before the fire rod?
Yeah.
All right, so what do we have? What do we got? Smith chain now?
Yeah, Smith chain. I think that might be it. Can't
What
get
a seed.
Can't get into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I can't get into Turtle Rock. Don't have
Doom-
access to Mire.
Yeah,
Can't
Doom's
get into
got
Ice Palace.
knock off Spike Cave right here, which makes sense. We check Sick Cave, Sick Boy, Sick Kid,
Yeah.
Sick Boy.
That's his new name. I like that.
We rename him.
I'm gonna push for Sick Boy from now on.
Diseased Lad. Mumps Man. All right, we'll stop.
I think we can probably stop at Sick Boy.
Yeah, Sick Boy's pretty good.
All right, so Doom gets his arrows, and Ralen's making his way over to what can only be the Smith chain at this point. Being forced into the Smith chain, what a terrible feeling.
It's not, as long as you have a mirror, it's not too bad.
Ooh,
Personally, I consider
what's
mirror to be required for Smith chain.
Yeah, what's it? Catfish. We still haven't seen that. All right, so Doom heading south from the pyramid, and Ralen making his way over to Jeremiah. So where's Doom going? Is he going just the long way? Yeah, it looks like it. So since he killed Aga, we've got the mirror. Save and quits over to the pyramid, and has to, instead of mirroring and save and quit again, just walking over. Meanwhile, Ralen slowly gets to hammer away at the pigs.
Yeah, hammer pigs without boots is bad. Yeah, most things without boots are bad.
3 bombs from hammer pigs, so that's not the answer. Watch it not even be the Smith chain. Watch it just be the Smith catfish, and they both skipped it.
It's true.
Or did they? Has anybody checked powder? Did Ralen check powder way back?
I don't think so, but you would expect it to be right here, coupled in with all this stuff.
All right, and the Smiths give us the fire rod. There it is. That gives us access to Ice Palace. and I guess, and then Turtle Rock. We've got Turtle Rock as well now.
Yeah,
No, we don't have Turtle
no,
Rock.
Turtle
We
Rock
have
is
Bombos.
Bombos.
Oh, it's Ice Palace. Is it Ice Palace or let's see? Skullwoods is a 5/6, so we can do Pyramid Fairy, I guess.
Skullwoods is 5. Skullwoods is 5/6, but we have both items from Skull. So yeah, it could be the 2 items from Pyramid Fairy, or it could be Ice Palace. I think the Skullwoods, yeah, just going straight to Skullwoods right here, getting the 5/6, and then looking to combo in Pyramid Fairy to Ice Palace makes a bunch of sense.
Yeah, Ralen left the purple chest. He said, I'm going straight to Skullwoods. Get out of here, purple chest.
Yeah, without the flute, I think that makes a lot of sense. You already got your item. At this point, you're looking for Bombos and flute to finish off the seed.
All right, so Doom actually making the same. Just gonna leave that purple chest there. Like you said, it makes the most sense. It's such a long check without the flute there. Going in the opposite direction you really want to go. So Ralen's still a sword behind as well, not having visited Zora. So have a little bit more trouble probably with Moth. Probably resorting to Fire Rod strats.
Yeah, Moth is pretty weird. The whole doesn't take damage from the spikes. It's even weirder with spins because you actually like spin him into the spikes and then he still gets hit. The low percent strat is to use spins. And it's actually not too bad if you wanted to give it a whirl. Just go in there and start spinning. Just spin him into the spikes, like kind of go against your intuition that you don't want to hit him there. You kind of get like double spins. And you get like one hit registered.
But with that tempered sword, just 4 slashes, as long as they're not into the spikes, will be alright. But nice fight from Ralen Tankir.
Yeah. The main thing the Fire Rod does, the Fire Rod doesn't actually do that much damage to Moth counterintuitively. The main thing it does is it gets him off of that back wall so you can hit him. I don't know if Doom knew that hand was coming and threw that pot to kill the hand, but that was close.
Alright, so is Ralen gonna take a look at what's on the pedestal now?
Yeah, I think that would make sense, especially with the fact that he's got 2 pendants done already.
Yeah.
And the seed is kind of telling you kind of have to go to Ice Palace next. Checking Ped makes a lot of sense right here. Because if this is something, this is Flute. It's not, but if it was, I'd be inclined to just go mode Ice Palace. Save for the 2 checks you can make pretty easily, and just take the item there.
So is Ralen now gonna do purple chest and route that into the That's what it looks like he's doing.
Yeah, it could be what he's thinking. I'm not sure how I feel about that. This is a pretty long trek for 1 check.
Yeah, I feel like
it's one of those things. This is the most efficient it's ever going to be, but it takes a bunch of time to do this.
Yeah, I feel like I would risk it. I feel like the purple chest is not worth it.
Yeah,
no, if it is Bombos or something, then
yeah, I think I'd be looking for a payoff for the Fire Rod. So either this Pyramid Fury check or Ice Palace, or ideally just knock both of them off right now.
Yeah. Oh, so he didn't even do powder then.
Oh yeah, he didn't do yeah. I mean, maybe if he knew he was going to do it with purple chest, I guess that makes sense. But I don't know. I think it makes more sense to do it before to knock it off, because then it's more likely you can skip all of this, and you were already there.
So Doom not able to do Pyramid Fairy yet because he hasn't cleared desert yet, but so he's got to make the long walk over here and walk through desert to make this.
Yeah, that's one thing I missed when I said he pretty much can just do Lammo later. Is if it was Pyramid Fairy, he would have to make this walk back. So the seed's playing out pretty unfortunately for Doom. He made a couple plays that just didn't work out, and like the way the seed's kind of been laid out, like they're sort of like double and triple hurting him.
Yeah.
Because he missed the gloves, which means he couldn't clear this, and then even though this was nothing, it's looking like it might be Pyramid Fairy, or he's at least making the Pyramid Fairy play, which means he has to come back here. So sometimes I can do this to you.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, purple chest is not much. So Ralen is going to go into the Dark World here, pick up that bomb, and since they cleared Aga and have the mirror, be a nice quick check. Imagine neither one of the runners are feeling great about their position at this point.
Yeah, on Ralen's side, he hasn't really spiked in anything major. he hasn't really made like a wild play or anything, and none of his plays have really spectacularly played off except for the Thieves Town thing, which again felt pretty standard. So I can't imagine he thinks he's ahead. He probably thinks the seed's very linear and he's behind because of it.
Yeah.
And then, like as I said with Doom, is he basically made one skip, and it's come back to haunt him 3 or 4 times at this point. That being said, I mean Doom is not out of this. Like he is still close.
He's right there. Yeah.
You know, when they converge on Hera, we saw how much time he can make up. Granted, Ralen did make the mistake on Beetles in there, which cost him some time. But even besides that.
All right, so Pyramid Fairy is the answer. Bombos. There it is. So Ralen, if we find Flute here in Turtle Rock, which seems likely, Ralen might not get that Tempered Sword from Zora.
Yeah, so Pyramid Fairy was required. And Doomtap having a very nice 1 cycle with Fire Rod. That fight looks easy, but you can... Lambo can still give you bad patterns somehow. It's amazing.
So that clearing of desert really makes it seem like Doom is going to...
I think Doom is going to be right on the heels of Ralen right here.
Yeah, it's going to do Pyramid Fairy, though.
Yeah, so Ralen is effectively ahead.
Why is he going that way?
He's going to Turtle Rock, right?
No, Doom still needs to do Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, Doom is still in the Light World, yeah.
I just don't know. I'm not sure why he was heading north. Now he's heading back. He went north to the castle and then realized, what am I doing? And now he's heading back south to get the bomb.
Yeah, he may have just forgot that he could just get Dark World access down here.
All right, so how mean is the seed going to be? Are we going to have to go to Ice Palace to get like the flute or something, or is because we're flute go mode, right? Like, is the flute going to be here?
I think the flute's just going to be here. And what's 6 in here versus 3 in Ice Palace? And I think that's all the checks we have left. Except for Catfish.
Oh man, if Catfish has something.
Poor Ben and Catfish. If he has the flute, like, when they find... If that's the case, if Catfish has flute, when they find it, they're both going to feel like they're done. Because, I mean, not only did you last location that is an item that speeds you up a bunch.
Alright, so Doom, it looked like did he try to dupe the bomb and it didn't work, so he had to go back and get it again?
Maybe, I didn't see.
Because this is his second bomb. You gotta dupe when you gotta dupe, I guess. All right, so first check in Turtle Rock. We got our key on the right hand side. We've got our big key, and we've got a heart container. Ralen still without the Tempered Sword. Gonna have to pull up the Fire Rod for the Pokies here.
Yeah. Using the Fire Rod on Pokies when you have Master Sword is actually optimal. Spinning them twice is just too slow. The downside here is normally when you're using the Fire Rod and you don't have half magic, you're pretty likely to get a full magic drop from the Pokies. So using Fire Rod strats with randomized prize packs is you have to keep an eye on your magic pretty good.
Yeah. So Doom is behind, but not insurmountable. This is very within his abilities to catch up here.
Yeah, it's gonna assuming Flute's here, it's gonna come down to a combination of GT routing and just Doom having a edge in execution overall. So this is well within the realm of anyone's game.
Yeah, execution and a sword if Ralen doesn't find another
That's
sword
true.
along the way.
We've been saying, oh, Ralen will get his tempered sword from Zora, but at this point, again, unless it's even if it is catfish, because if it's catfish and it's Flute, he's not going to Zora after that.
Yep.
So unless he finds one in GT. Now we have checked most things. There's got to be one in GT, but you could just be out of your route,
Yep.
But Master Sword Ganon is not only a difficult fight, it is long.
Yeah.
It's like it's like 2 extra minutes optimally over a tempered fight, and that's assuming you know how to like 2+1 Ganon with Master Sword, which is not easy at all.
That's optimal strats, which is
there's only a couple people who really run low percent seriously that can do those optimal Master Sword Ganon fights, because it is probably the hardest fight in the game.
So realistically, more like 3.5 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, 3.5 to 4 if they never find silvers, and depending. The big chunk of that is the 24 spins on phase 4, and even then, without half magic, you're not going to be able to. You'd have to get. You can do 24 just with Fire Rod, but you have to be perfect.
Right.
You got to get a double pre-torch, and then you got to keep them in triples the entire time. So at some point, you're going to go to torch to lamp, and you're really only going to get 2 spins per. So if Ralen never finds a sword, that is like 4 minutes probably.
Yeah. Still looking for that flute, though. Watch, we're going to get a key on Crystal Roller Room here. It's going to be like the God TR. When you're still looking for items, that's the worst feeling.
Yeah, I mean, TR Go mode doesn't help you that much. The Chomp's just being absolute jerks to Doomtap.
And there we are. We are in Go mode. What a slow, mean seed.
Yeah.
Really. This is just not a seed that I'd wish for anyone.
No, and their seed yesterday was gross too. They came in like it was like around the 2-hour mark, and we're gonna be hitting similar numbers today. It's gonna be like 6 minutes for Meyer, depending on the key layout. Another 8 for GT. Another 2, so like 16 minutes after Turtle Rock.
So Ralen's Trinex is also going to be a bit longer as well. All right, he's got the key. He's going to look for another sword here, though.
Ralen opting to use the cane here to get the laser bridge items.
Gets a bit bullied by those lasers and that.
I think these laser bridge checks for Ralen make sense considering he's missing a sword, silvers, and boots. So I like the 2 extra checks here. There's just too much stuff that can speed you up at this point to skip out on those. Doom with tempered sword, like he doesn't care about silvers at this point. That's just it's just 40 seconds he knows he's not gonna have. But boots, I would think boots are the number one things on Doom's mind. Having boots for Ganon's tower is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the one thing that we haven't really discussed is the possibility, though low, of boots being required for GT.
Yeah, if it is Torch, I mean at this point boots are in GT, right?
Yeah.
Like
100%. Yeah.
so because well, Ice Palace is the one place we really haven't gone to.
I mean, if it is, that's just super mean, though. All right, so the ice head getting away from Ralen here.
Yeah, this is a tough fight with just Master Sword and optionally using the hammer. And without boots. With the boots, you can do the backdoor strats, which make the fight a little bit more comfortable. You can actually get a one cycle with Master Sword on Trinex. There's a new strat out to poke dash the Trinex head, which restuns it. It's pretty difficult.
Ralen, this is stressing me out here a bit.
Yeah, this is how most Master Sword fights go. We'll see how Doom handles it.
All right, Trinex is down, and we get rewarded with a shovel. All right, let's make sure our runners remember to mirror after clearing out this dungeon to make sure to go activate their flute. Not have to do an extra save and quit because those save and quits are so long right now.
And the shovel just to mock you at this point. I love fetch quest items when you're in go mode. Just great.
Yeah. All right, so Raylan remembers to save and quit. To mirror out before I save and quit. So he'll be heading over to Village of Outcasts now, or excuse me, Village of Outcasts, to Kakariko, pre-Village of Outcasts, and activate that flute at the 1 hour and 37-minute mark, which is always fun. Nothing like activating a flute after 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's it's pretty late flute. You really hate getting those speed jump items. After most times you'd be just done with seed. And really at this point there's not even speeding you up at all, it's just getting you into Mire and then getting you back up Death Mountain to finish the game. Doom having a much easier Trinex fight.
So is Raylan going? Raylan dancing around misses the bird there. Getting a little too fancy with those moves. Does he check Mire Shed?
Oh, he's just he actually is. You can save a couple frames by walking into the bird, but he was just you're just making a dance. You don't want to move down.
Lose too much there. All right, so he is gonna jump into Mire Shed. Just see if you can find maybe silvers.
Yeah, like I said, with 3 items, this potentially speeds you up. I think this makes sense. Like, there's too many things it could be. If it was just like, oh, I'm just missing silvers, or oh, I'm just missing boots, or just missing a sword, I think you kind of want to stay on the straight path. But you know, right now he's looking at a pretty rough Ganon fight. No half magic. No silvers, Master Sword. He at least has blue mail. I'll be interested. Yeah. He does have $1,200. I'll be interested to see if after Mire he decides to flute to the Witch's Hut to get some potions. He does. I see a fairy in one of his bottles.
Yeah, but having
the Master Sword
magic.
Silverless,
yeah,
for silverless, I think getting at least a green potion, but you might as well just buy the blue. Makes sense.
All right, and there's the flute activation for Doomtap.
Yeah. On the other hand, I expect Doom to completely skip Mire Shed and just go straight into Mire.
Yeah. I mean, he's set. He's not looking for anything. Boots would be nice, but there's too many places that the boots could be. And they're in GT at this point, right?
Yeah, and you figure you're gonna be opening up a bunch of chests in GT, so you just kind of hope you're gonna get something there. I didn't see what the Meyer medallion was. Was I completely wrong about?
Yeah, it was ether.
It was either. Okay, so I
Yeah.
was right. I just figured the flute was also gonna be somewhere not horrible.
Yeah. All right, bridge chest just gives us our first key in Meyer. What's the spike's gonna serve us? Oh, we got a Godmire.
Yeah. At this point for Doomtap, the worst location these big keys could be in, I would say, is actually better for him because it gives him more time to try to catch up.
I think with Ralen's situation, he's got the cape, so when you've got Master Sword and the cape, I feel like, well, my strats for it, not the best strats, but the safest, I feel like, is just putting the cape on and
Yeah,
mashing that
he's got an
sword
ocean
button.
of health, so I'd like to see a couple spins to start off the fight with. Even if you get hit by an eyeball, you'll still have plenty of health.
Yeah.
And then you can, if the fight looks like it's getting a little out of hand, you can switch to the cape.
Now, even though our runners don't have boots, Spooky is still on the table, though.
Yes, you
It
can.
looks like Raylan's not going to do it.
Yeah, you can either use beams or a fire rod shot to preserve the spooky when you put the block down. I'm not sure if Doom is aware of that, so I'm not sure if he's gonna go for it. Doom on 5 hearts. He's gonna get a heart here. Hopefully, actually, he might not because he doesn't have boots. No, he's not gonna get the heart. So that that pot in the middle that has the heart. If you're ever wondering why you sometimes don't get a heart there, if the wizard gets a shot off, it'll despawn the heart. So you can either hookshot or dash to the wizard and to get a heart, but without boots, it's kind of hard. But he's still got
Yeah.
5 hearts. That's actually the minimum you need to do the Vitreous fight with damage boost.
Oh, Doom. Oh, no. Execute Spooky. Unfortunately, you got to skip that one.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so it's crystal number 7 for Raylan, using the cape strats like I mentioned, just slashing away.
The real unfortunate thing is that actually is going to screw up the second spooky too, because it's going to release these antifairies, because we're in the same super tower right now. So they're all going to be, yeah, they're already out there.
All right, numbers are flying by. We don't have the bot for today, but you can play the big key guessing game. Go ahead and guess where you think the big key is going to be, 1 through 22. We'll go by whoever gets there first. At this point, looks like it's going to be Ralen. Though he is making a detour. He's going to check out Checkerboard Cave. He really wants a sword or silvers.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make a trip over to the witch set.
Yeah, I expect Doom to be doing just full-on damage boost strats here. He's got the fairies too, in case he messes up, so there's no risk. Perfect fight from Doom.
Yeah, really, really nice fight.
Yeah.
So Raylan actually is, really gonna pick up his powder there and make his way up. So we'll go by whoever enters GT first, as Raylan flutes back to the potion shop. This is gonna be a foot race.
Yeah, the potion shop trip is tying this up. You know,
Until we get the save and quit there.
and we're back to the potion shop. Yeah, I mean, you can really see it's it's hard when you're actually racing. It's like, oh, let's go to the potion shop. That doesn't take any time. I mean, but you can see it when you're watching a race like this that what advantage Ralen had, he lost a lot of it just from taking that trip.
Yeah, and loses even more with that dead rock there.
Yeah. If anyone's got the Doubtum Dead Rocks, you can go ahead and throw them in chat right now.
Man, I hate dead rocks so much.
Everyone hates Dead Rocks.
All right, so in this foot
Yeah.
race, Doomtap has taken the lead. All right, I didn't ask you, where do you think the big key is going to be? Oh no, now he gets dead rocked.
I'm gonna say it's in Ganon's Tower.
It's a good guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. I'll. You know what? I'm with you. I think it is in Ganon's Tower as well. I think it's in one of the one of the chests in the basement. So, Ralen gets dead rocked, and
This league's going back and forth from these dead rocks, man. That is.
and now Doomtap gets dead rocked, and now it looks like Ralen has pulled ahead.
We'll sell you the
is
whole
now
seat, but you're only gonna need the edge.
opening the tower here. So Ralen is going to enter first, but you have to think that Doomtap has got the.
Well,
you know,
it's kind of
quite a
depends on
big
the route.
advantage
The
over
routes
there.
here. I don't know what either of them really do for routing.
All right, so it looks like Ralen's going to be doing Dark Magician strats or modified Dark Magician's. Going to head to the left, and Doomtap is going to be. Oh my gosh, we need the boots. All right, so again, the boots have to be here. There's no way the boots aren't here, right?
They're on catfish.
Oh, this is too good. All right, so our first check. There are the silver arrows, chest number 1, and half magic. Let's make our GT trip just a bit easier.
Yeah.
3 bombs.
I think if you're playing this
And the
where
key.
you're positive the boots are in here,
Yeah.
you don't change your routing at all because you basically consider the boots to be the big key at that point.
Sure. Yep. All right, so Ralen actually not heading right. He's going to go check the firebar room here.
Yeah. I think the modified Dark Magician, the one I picked up from Boyne. I forget where he got it exactly, but I think for higher execution players, it's the best thing to do because you can do it the same thing every single time, and it loses the least amount of time to any other strat, and it has the potential to, if there's no key on the right side and the big key is in compass room, you can make up a massive amount of time like that.
Now, in sync now as we go into the fire snake room here, and Doom is able to pull ahead.
Yeah, pulling ahead with some nice red boom strats. You don't get to see those red boom strats too often.
Yeah.
Really only use them like Hundo, which Doom has run a long time ago, and then he realized it's bad, like we all do.
All right, the randomizer room. We've got the boots. There they are. And surprisingly, Ralen doesn't look for another sword and just takes off. And Doom chooses to check the other 4 instead.
Yeah, that is the exact opposite of what should have happened.
That is really surprising.
I don't know what Doom could possibly be looking for. Gold sword isn't even gonna. If you can 1+1 Ganon, gold sword gets you nothing.
Yeah.
The only fight where gold sword really saves you time is Trinex. I guess Cold's there too. You can get like a 3-slash and kill him.
All right, so Doom preserving his health.
Yeah, Doom is playing very safe here. I'm a little surprised about that. He's got red mail. He's got fairies. I'm not sure why he didn't just do the normal strat. Doom forgetting he has boots.
I mean, he's ran an hour.
Yeah, when you've played so long, I've done that so many times too. Where, oh my god, if Doom loses this race because he forgot he had boots,
it's a lot of walking through here.
that.
I imagine Muscle memory will kick in at some point, though, right?
Yeah, you would think. Like, this is the kind of a weird place. I mean, even though you've been playing so long without boost, this is a weird place to like forget. There you go. He just he saw the dash. There he goes. All
Yeah.
right, Doom. Remembering he has the good item, and just crushing that G3. This is another place that Ralen's going to lose some time from having that Master Sword.
Yep.
Gauntlet is pretty difficult with just Master Sword, and then he's gonna. Well, he might go. He'll probably go to arrows, silver arrows here for Landmo.
Yeah. Zero cycle for Doomtap there. Ralen stopping to powder the fairy is gonna change things up here a bit.
The third sword was on Zora, and the one location neither of these runners ended up checking was Catfish. So for the longest time, we thought Ralen was going to get his sword on Catfish, but or on Zora, but he never ended up going to those checks. And yeah, unfortunately, Ralen did not have the cash starting off with.
He was like 30 rupee short, I believe.
Yeah, it was real close.
An real unfortunate Landmo 2 for Ralen there. Just too many cycles. Now he's pretty far behind.
Yeah, and Ralen's only 2 rooms behind, but as I was saying before, regardless of how good you are, the Master Sword fight on Ganon loses a chunk of time. Although they have silvers now, so it's not nearly as bad. It's just going to be how many cycles in Phase 1 Ralen can keep it to. It is possible to 2+1, but that requires some pretty good RNG.
I love how optimistic you are with being an MG runner about the possibility of getting some of these.
I can't do Master Sword Ganon that good. don't you worry.
All right, so Doom's not opening anything else. He's full in go mode. Got 10 sticks from Mini Helmet Room and a heart piece. So no sword help there for Ralen. And on to Aga 2 for Doomtap here. There's another piece of heart for Ralen. Last chance will be Mold Worm 2.
Aga 2 is a very underrated fight. It is one of the it is Landmo hard.
Yeah, that was a great fight from Doomtap there.
Yeah, you can really tell how much effort someone's put into Aga 2 by their fights. There's a lot going on in it.
All right, so it is going to be Master Sword Silvers for Ralen Tankir here. So he's going to need Doom to have a really, really bad Ganon, but he's got red mail, 3.5 hearts, and a fairy.
Yeah, he's going to need Doom to die on it.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Doom's got 3 fairies because he decided to really stock up in TR. I don't know why. Like, I'm surprised at some of the safeties that Doom was taking.
All right, phases 1 and 2 are already over for Doom.
Yeah, so it's a real quick fight.
All right, gets a nice double on phase 4 and another double, and there it is. Get your GGs in chat as Doomtap gets ready to cross this bridge just under 2 hours.
Your GGs and your Doomtap pearls.
Nice dash to the finish, and Doomtap is our finisher. Finishing our first finisher, finishing with a time of 1:54.21, and evening up this series at 1 game apiece.
Yeah, this seed was really back and forth. But oh, Ralen got South Ganon. Oh, the bane of my existence. Master Sword Ganon is a pretty exciting fight to watch. Wow, he got South Ganon. I've never seen that. I guess that's technically optimal. He's cutting those warps off. This is the pattern you want for the second phase. You can just spin to win up in here. You can get all the spins in. You can actually hookshot down to that bottom pot to get out of the bats. You can get a lot further into Ganon's hitbox than you think you can. So optimally, you can just get 6 spins in and a hookshot down, and then run for your life with the bats.
I mean, that was pretty good Master Sword phase for 1 and 2 there for Ralen.
I think that was like a 4+2. That's pretty good. That's a solid fight. The issue I always have on when it's Master Sword Silvers is my brain will not let me spin Ganon not in the Silverless window.
Oh,
like
nice.
I have to remember I have to spin him early. I'm like, I can't do it. So if you ever see me do the fight, I'll get like 3 like Silverless spins in before I like recalibrate. Like, oh, I gotta do it early.
Oh man, Ganon trying to bully Ralen here.
Oh. Just shot that. Oh, he was close to falling off there. If you're holding the wrong direction when you get hit by a bat, you can get a bunch of weird recoil and just get sent flying.
Alright, should be able to get a double here. And he does. So get your GGs in chat for Ralen Tankir. Would have been a really good show on a really tough seed. The seed was just not nice to our runners today.
Yeah, that was a good Master Sword Ganon fight.
And he finishes in second place with a time of 1:56.49. We'll see if Ralen wants to talk about that. No interview from Doom today. So Apathy, what are your thoughts on that seed?
I just hope they have a nice seed for seed 3. So game 3. Both of these seeds have been really mean to them. Like required items and pendant pod. A crystal pod. Let's give them a crystal pod for game 3. How about that?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll go 6/6 and we'll have to do one less. I don't know.
Yeah, so Ralen will get to choose if he wants to make any changes to game 3.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he goes with. Could potentially pick a fast Ganon to neutralize the GT effect.
Yeah. And it looks like he is going to join us here in a second, so get his thoughts on this game and the series overall.
Those are some full trackers. Oh boy.
Yeah, I can't believe we had the GT Big Key B on the torch.
Yeah. And with them checking, I mean, this was Hundo except for Catfish, right? We saw every location.
Yeah, and Ice Palace.
Oh right, Ice Palace. Yeah, Ice Palace would have been funny if the boots are down there.
All right, we are now joined by Ralen Tankir. GG's.
GG.
First, let me say I'm sorry. That seed was not nice. Why don't you give us some of your thoughts? How do you feel you played, and how you felt the seed played out?
I mean, for what the seed was, for the most time, I actually felt kinda good that I at least didn't get the worst of it. Then there was that there was that one thing where I had 30 money, 30 rupees. I was missing 30 rupees for Zora, and credits telling me, "Yep, you left behind your tempered sword."
Yeah.
So that
Yeah, it definitely played a part in this race. I mean, with as close as it was,
Catfish could have
tempered
been
a
the other
lot.
sword.
Yeah, that's true.
Catfish is the one location neither of you checked.
So I guess let me ask you just a couple of different questions. You went into Thieves Town, and you only had one item in the first 4. Is that why you decided to continue on?
was part of it, but also I committed pretty heavily to go in Village of Outcast first, and until then I didn't turn up anything for it. So back of this town having still 3 items, which from which I get at least 2. I was basically committed to getting that, and yeah.
Okay, and then I think the other thing that was kind of weighing on my mind was the choice to do swamp over going up to the mountain. What were your thoughts there?
I just found the hammer and pot, which unlocked Swamp Palace, and I was on the search for the mids, and was basically 50-50 between Swamp and going up the mountain on where are those mids, and I tended to favor Swamp because I also found the book and was then thinking, okay, maybe that is actually required for something, and when I do Swamp, I have Bombos Tablet for once, and then Desert Access. Which felt at that time pretty bad, which when it turned up absolutely nothing.
Yeah, the major differences in this seed were Doom actually ended up skipping the Thieves Town check the first loop around, so you had a lead for a good bit then. And then because the seed really didn't give you anything, you ended up converging on Death Mountain in Hera. But Doom never, because he didn't have the gloves, he never killed Lambo. And then because it was Pyramid Fairy, he had to walk all the way back there.
Yeah, that was my one hope I had at that moment, that maybe, just maybe, the flute is locked behind Pyramid Fairy, and yeah. Got bailed out by that one again there, but wasn't enough this time.
So any thoughts on the next seed? What setting you're going to pick? Any adjustments you're going to make?
I have to rewatch this race to get an idea of what maybe have lost me, or where are maybe some advantages that I have that I can explore on. I have an idea in mind, but there is nothing confirmed yet, and we haven't fully scheduled our third race, so can't say that at this moment.
Sounds good. Any last thoughts before we let you go?
Well, thanks to commentating the seed and to the tracker to bring that restream on. It was a fun race still, and closer than I might have imagined.
Yeah, it was exciting. You guys were going back and forth on the way up to GT because you got dead rocked, and then Doom got dead rocked, and then you got dead rocked. So it was neck and neck there. Unfortunately, he had tempered, so we knew he was going to save some time on Ganon at the end. But you were on same screen for a lot of Ganon's tower.
Yeah, it was fun, and I mean, I'm the number 4 seed facing the number 1 seed, and I had a match point here. So I'm not unhappy with how this went so far, and looking for maybe getting a bit lucky on the third race.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you were in this, you were leading in this for quite a while, so Rando's gonna Rando, and you just as good a shot to win Game 3 as Doom does, and I know we're all excited to watch it. So
again, thanks for all that. Yeah.
Apathy, you got any last thoughts or words?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
All right, so again, shout outs to our tracker Slowpoke for helping us out today. Always super appreciated. Apathy is really good to do comms with you. That was a lot of fun, and I always
it's
like
great.
to learn from some of the best NMG runners, even though I don't run NMG.
Well, then I'll find someone for you to talk to then.
And we've got a couple other races going on. It looks like Sailor Nap and Humbug are playing on Speed Gaming 3 right now. Looks like Tito and Super Taylor on Speed Gaming currently. And then we've got Big Dunka and Catabat at Speed Gaming 4 at 6. And a bunch of matches going on today. So
Yeah,
if you like Rando, there's going to be some Rando on some Speed Gaming. So.
Yeah, some jerks playing tonight. So.
Oh, are you playing tonight?
Yeah.
All right, so check out Apathy and see if we can pull it off tonight.
If you want to see some more people going to the wrong locations, then come check out.
Yeah, that's gonna be on Speed Gaming 4 at 11:20 p.m. So yeah, make sure you watch. All right, I've been Fear Agent, and I'm signing off from Speed Gaming. Big shout outs to everyone, our runners, Ralen, Tankir, and Doom. See y'all later.